Yo, what is going on, you guys? I'm FlipArtz, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to win a shootout challenge every single time here in the headquarters of World War II. Now, before we start, though, I do want to just give a quick shout out to my homie YouAreDead567 for helping me out with letting me face him in the firing range without interruptions to get these clips for you guys for today's video. Now, you guys can challenge anyone to a shootout challenge anytime, anywhere, just by going up to them and holding the square button to interact with them, and just under the commend player option, which you guys should be just randomly commending anyone you see, even if they don't commend you back, you will want to choose the shootout challenge. And if the other person or your friend accepts that challenge, you'll be both transported into the firing range with a timer set up to let you guys begin your shootout. It doesn't matter if you're in the Prestige Lookout, it doesn't matter if you guys are all the way at the back, if you guys are at your emblem, if you guys are in the theater, it doesn't matter where you guys are. As soon as you accept it, you will be transported into the firing range and getting ready for your shootout. The way to win a shootout challenge here is to get the most points in 30 seconds by shooting the targets that are scattered along the firing range. However, different targets have different point values counted toward them. So as you guys can kind of guess here, the closer the targets are to you, the least points that you will get towards those targets. So the farther away those targets are, the more points you'll be getting. So the catch here is, though, that the closer the targets are, the more targets you're going to have to shoot at, while further away those targets are, the less amount of targets you're going to have to choose from. Now, the way to win the shootout challenge every single time, in my opinion anyway, and I say this because I rarely lose these shootout challenges, is to shoot the targets furthest to the back of the firing range. That's kind of obvious, but if you get the groove for those targets, you'll be able to rack up your score very quickly and very swiftly. The firing range is divided up into 4 sections that range in their points. So the targets closest to you guys are the ones that are going to be in the 1-point range. The targets that are near the middle are going to be worth about 1 to 3 points. The targets near the tower off to the right are worth 1 to 4 points. And the targets all the way at the back, the ones that I want you guys to shoot at, depending on what you shoot at actually, is between 1 and 5 points. So starting from the first section of the firing range, the front of the firing range here, the targets closest to you guys when you guys are there, these targets are worth 1 point each. You've got the 3 horizontal targets with the white diamond circle. It's basically a reset button. So after you shoot these 3 targets here, you can hit the red one there, the target there, the reset target, and it will bring those targets back down. You can shoot them again and then reset them over and over. And then on the side, you have the 5 vertical targets, where when those ones are shot, they spin over to the other side, and then you're going to have more targets there. You can shoot at them, they spin back to the other side. And then on the right side of the firing range, we have 2 more of the same 3 horizontal targets with the reset on it as well. For the second section of targets, the middle of the firing range, we have the target boards that are worth 1 point for the first 3 shots, and then the finishing 4th shot is worth 2 points. So after you complete the first set, a second set of boards will come out, and these are also going to be worth the same as your first set. After you complete the second set, a third set of boards will also come out as well, and these are going to be 1 point values for the first 3 shots, and then the 4th finishing shot, instead of 2 points, is going to be worth 3 points. And then after you complete this third set, a final 4th set will come out. It'll be 1 board though, and that will slide in. It will be worth the same amount as the 3rd set. And then just off to the left side is going to be a single target board that is worth 1 point for the first 3 shots, and then the 4th shot is going to be a 2-point value like our first set. Now for the third section of targets, which is the tower just off to the right side, each of the blue or orange targets when shot are worth 4 points each. If you shoot out all of the targets to its other colors, so blue targets into orange or orange into its blue, they will trigger a sequence that will bring up 2 target boards where when they are shot at, the first 3 shots will give out 1 point each, and then the final 4th shot will be a 4-point value. And then finally, for the 4th and final section of targets, the one that I want you guys to shoot at, the targets all the way at the back, we have something similar to the targets that are closest to us. We have 2 sets of 3 horizontal targets and a reset target button on there, which when shot are all worth 5 points, which basically means 1 rack is worth 15 points, 20 points if you include the reset target button, and then just above that on the right is a target board where when this is shot at, the first one is going to be worth 1 point for the first 3 shots, and then the finishing blow, the 4th shot there, is going to be worth 5 points. Now this 4th set of targets, the targets all the way at the back, is the ones that you want to shoot at every single time when possible. That kind of sounds pretty obvious regardless of what weapon you're going to be using. However, there are sequences that you guys can trigger in the firing range that can give you more points than usual. Here we have on the right side of these targets, which is worth 1 to 2 points. If you complete this set here, it will trigger 5 vertical targets to pop up along with 3 horizontal targets, and so after completing this set, 2 more target boards will pop up. After you shoot those ones, 5 watermelons will actually roll out from the side, and by shooting each of these ones, you'll actually get 5 points per watermelon. Now another sequence you can do is the tower targets. You can flip all the targets to its other color, and then 2 target boards will pop up from the top like I mentioned from before. You take those 2 boards out, and just at the back behind that tower there, 3 target boards will appear from the left, and 2 of them are going to be normal. 1 of them is going to look like a girl. Shooting the one that looks like a girl will give you no points, but shooting at the other 2 will give you 1 point for the first 3 shots and 5 points for the ending shot, but these targets move very, very quickly to the right. And the last sequence that you guys can do is in the middle of the firing range here. The hanging target board is basically your second section here. By completing all 4 target boards quickly, a red disc will fly out from either the front of you or off to the right side of you, and if you manage to hit this small red disc, it will give you 30 points for hitting it. And if you manage to hit the first disc, 2 more discs will launch out from either side, either both from one side or one side and the other side. Both will also be worth 30 points, and if you're skilled enough to actually take out both of those discs, one final set of 3 discs will launch from both sides, and those will each also be worth 30 points. Now, although getting 5 points for the watermelons, 5 points for the moving target boards, or getting 30 points per disc sounds great, it's just very inconvenient to do, especially trying to get through the triggered sequences just to get to the end goal, especially for the middle hanging target boards, because it's really easy to miss these discs because of how small they are, how quick they move, and those 30 points will be gone almost instantly if you don't get your shots on point. But shooting the targets at the back targets like I mentioned, those are your best bet. If you have great accuracy, movement, and a trigger finger, you'll be able to knock those targets out quickly and efficiently and rack up those points quickly. The best part about this is that almost no one every time will shoot at those back targets during a shootout. Obviously, if you're in a shootout and you're using a shotgun, you definitely won't be able to hit those back targets no matter what. But with just about every other gun there, you got the rifles, the submachine guns, the snipers, the light machine guns, even your secondary pistols, you'll be able to hit those back targets. Now, to show you guys some proof, I entered my headquarters, who happen to have a lot of people in it, a lot of random players here, and when looking for someone walking around or someone that was active, a completely random player, this isn't set up or anything like that. This guy here happened to be opening up a supply drop. I went, and after he finished, I challenged him to a shootout, and luckily enough, this guy accepted my challenge and faced me. So if you guys watch what targets he decides to shoot at, he would shoot at the targets in the middle, constantly reloading his rifle, while I tried to shoot at the targets at the back as best as I could, 1 bullet at a time to maximize the amount of shots going down range, hoping each shot will be 5 points per target and getting the most out of one magazine without needing to reload when possible. Now, to prove to you guys that you can do this with any weapon, after defeating this guy here, another player, a random guy, decided to challenge me here in a shootout. His primary weapon of choice was a PPSH. So as you guys can see here, I struggled trying to hit the targets at the back, only because the reticle for this optic was kind of weird, but also some machine guns aren't meant to shoot at long distances, especially that far away, so there will be some shots that just won't hit the first time. But surely enough, after making sure that my shots were on point, watching the score rise up within the 30 seconds I was given, you can tell where I left this guy in the dust. So after this game was over, I commended him for a good game, assuming that he might commend me back, which he didn't, unfortunately, and decided to change his loadout and challenge me again. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to show you guys how many weapons I can go through depending on what he gives me, to prove to you guys that those back targets, if shot quickly, swiftly, and accurately, you will come out on top every single time, despite what weapons you're given or what you have. So for this second challenge, we end up using the BAR, the bar, which was a big mistake on his end. Also, if you keep an eye on what targets he's choosing to shoot at, you can see there was no way he was going to catch up. Every time I face an opponent with this kind of method here of shooting the back targets, my score is almost always double or more of my opponent's score, and at this point I thought that this guy was done. I tried to get his attention for a commendation for the winning twice, but he changed his loadout again for a third time and challenged me again, but this time with the M1903 sniper rifle. Now this actually puts me at a disadvantage since I'm using the infantry division, so I can't focus my shots down sight like he can by holding his breath. But with this, you'll see that I start struggling to get my shots on point, but in the end, he unfortunately missed the target to take the lead, and I clutched out the win, having a 3-0 victory over him, and he tried to challenge me again, but I denied it because obviously I'm going to take my wins and walk out with it. So shortly after this, my homie You Are Dead 567 was there watching. I gave him the tips and told him everything about shooting the back targets and doing them in succession. This guy who challenged me, who must have been mad because he lost 3 times and didn't commend me, decided to go and challenge my homie here with snipers because he almost beat me in our 1v1 just a second ago. So I spectated from the back on this one, even though I kind of helped them out here a little bit by resetting the targets at the back, but the end result here was that my homie here actually shot the back targets and ended up coming out on top and winning. And well, this guy kind of just walks out of the firing range, doesn't commend either of us, and stops moving from that point on and never looked back. So there you guys have it. Shoot the back targets only. Do it quickly, 1 shot per target if you guys can. Make them count, rack up the 5 bangers, and you'll be good to go for that victory. Although I'm sure that after many people see this video, a lot of people will start doing it too, so you'll have to be the one to get the faster reflexes going to run through each of those targets before your opponent can. Now for those of you that don't know, by competing with your friends or other random players in a shootout challenge, you'll be able to gain social score towards your social rank, which by leveling up can give you guys rewards like armory credits, weapon variants, and supply drops. But what's great about these shootout challenges, whether you win or lose, both of you guys are going to be earning social score for playing against each other. But what you need to keep in mind though is if you keep facing the same person over and over, like your friend, so many times in a row, I think if it's about like 4 to 5 times in a row or so in the same day, you're going to stop earning social score for playing against that person. So you're going to have to go and face someone else, like a random player or another friend, but you can face that friend again tomorrow or the next day or whatever and start earning social score again. But if you face them like 4 or 5 times in a row, you're going to just stop earning social score. So keep that in mind. And also the sequences that I did mention earlier that you guys can do in the firing range, if you end up completing them fully, you'll be able to actually unlock challenges towards the firing ranges sequences in the headquarters. So you might want to go check that out in your challenges section. But that is about it for this video, guys. Go out there, win your shootouts. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please share the video around and help others get better at winning more often in the firing range and for the shootout challenges. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on post notifications here on my channel by hitting the bell icon, and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date on everything going on here regarding my videos, my channel, and me. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. So later days, and peace out.